Dear students, today I am going to discuss on the topic Iron Age cultures of India, particularly iron associated with painted grey ware, black and red ware and megaliths. Let me first introduce about this topic. In human history, iron heralded a new era, as this technological know-how brought about changes in almost every sphere of life. In fact, iron technology has played an important role in the clearance of forests and spread of agricultural settlement or second phase of urbanization in the Ganga Valley. Iron smelting technology marked the end of the Stone Age and spurred urbanization in the Indian landmass. In peninsular India, iron was instrumental in digging wells and irrigation tanks in hard rock terrain and also in quarrying rocks for building megalithic monuments. Now come to the next point, iron metallurgy. A well-developed tradition of pyrotechnology, including copper smelting, existed in India from the Harappan times, which may lead to accidental discovery of iron from iron-rich copper ore. It may be pointed out that iron has been recovered from a few Bronze Age sites of South Asia. Further, the use of chalcopyrite as a copper ore at Ahar could have led to accidental production of iron from pyrite. Iron working tradition varies from region to region. Metallurgical analysis show that iron objects made were often of a very high quality. Circular furnaces from Naikun, Atranjikhera and Losawa Mound show exploitation of manganiferous belt and iron yielding areas. Now let's come to the next point, beginning of iron in India. In the beginning, the origin of iron working in India was dated to around 700 to 800 BC. Later, C14 dating at a number of sites pushed back its antiquity to around 1000 BC. Carbon 14 dating of the iron-bearing deposits of Atranjikhera, Halur, Kaushambi, Nagra and Iran have produced early dates of 1300 BC at these sites. Recently, early dates have also been obtained from Jusi, Nalkatila, Malha, Dadapur and No. Further analysis of iron objects from material like Kormanhali dated to about 1000 BC show that the ironsmith had great technical skill, implying a much earlier introduction of iron technology. However, the emergence of iron has not been uniform in various regions of India. It now appears that iron made an earlier beginning at the sites like Gujarat, No, Ahar and Bindas at around 1300 BC. Recent studies suggest an even earlier appearance of iron technology in India, which is contemporary with the earliest dates in other parts of the world. Now let's come to the origin of iron working. There are contrary opinions with regard to the origin of iron working in India. Some scholars have suggested diffusion and migration from the ways of nomadic Indo-Aryan from steppe Soviet Central Asia and Iran. However, many scholars including Chakrabarty have challenged this theory of diffusion of iron technology. On the basis of different characters of iron age in different zones, many scholars have opined that perhaps iron arose independently in more than one center. Further, iron seems to have been in use in different parts of the country by around 1000 BC, which also suggests an independent rather than a rapid diffusion. Now let's come to the next point, archaeological culture of early Iron Age in India. Iron technology seems to have made its first appearance almost simultaneously in different parts of the subcontinent between 1000 to 800 BC. First, it appears with painted grey ware in the upper Ganga plain, and secondly, iron appears with black and red ware in the middle and lower Ganga plains, and lastly, it appears with the megalithic culture in Vidarbha and peninsular India. Now let us discuss on the painted grey ware culture, also known as PGW. Krishnadeva and Mortimer Wheeler were the first to define painted grey ware from Ahishatra in 1946. But it was B.B. Lal's excavation at Hastinapur which highlighted its importance. Since then, a number of sites have been discovered, of which more than 30 sites have been excavated. Painted grey ware is the first culture which is associated with iron objects in large scale. Besides, furnaces and slags suggest iron smelting. Now come to the next point, distribution. Painted grey ware sites are distributed over a wide area from Bawalpur in Pakistan and North Rajasthan to Uttar Pradesh in the east and up to Ujjain in the south. They are mostly concentrated in the Indo-Gangetic Divide, Sutlej Basin and Upper Ganga-Jamuna Dwarf. Important painted grey ware sites include Hulas, Mathura, Atranjikhera, Ahishatra, Kampil, Kanauj, Hastinapur, Alangirpur, Bairat, No, Panipat, Bhagawanpur, Rupar and Purana Kila. Now let's move to the next point, that is the material culture, particularly about ceramics. Painted grey ware is a standardized wheel-thrown ware made out of well-navigated clay on a pass wheel. It has a core and a smooth grey to ash grey surface produced by firing under reducing conditions. Most common shapes are shallow tray and deep bowls with straight dishes with curve and jugger, that is curved bases. It is painted in black with limited motifs, particularly geometric motifs and swastikas. Now let's come to other types of artifacts. Other ceramics associated with painted grey ware include black and red ware without paintings, black slip ware, plain grey ware and coarse red ware. Variety of objects made of copper, iron and bone were found in excavation. Besides, bits of terracottas, agate, jasper, carnelian, chalcedony, lapis lazuli and human figurines were also found from different sites. Now let's come to the next point, metallurgy. Iron technology received its boost and it became dominant in No, particularly at Ahar level. Furnaces and slags have been recovered from Atranjikhera, Hulas and Jakhera, suggesting iron smelting at the sites. Now come to the next point, structure. It is characterized by mud houses made of wattle and duff, evidence from patches of burnt earth, mud bricks, pieces of mud plaster with reed and bamboo, impressions from Ahisatra, Hastinapura, Atranjikhera and Jakhera. Only at Bhagawanpur, in the late phase, bag brick structure was unearthed along with 13-room complex corridor between rooms and courtyard. The next point is subsistence. Rice from Hastinapur and wheat and barley from Atranjikhera are recovered as plant remains and as animal remains, horse, cattle, pig, goat and deer, particularly wild and domesticated, are found. It shows a simple and modest economy with evidence of cultivation but with no coinage or script. The next point is trade and exchange. Presence of beads of semi-precious stones at sites in the dwarf indicates long distance trade. Now come to chronology. On the basis of carbon-14 dates, it is estimated to fall between 900 to 500 calibrated BC. Thermoluminescence date from Hulas, Alangirpur push the antiquity further. The next point is origin. Since many of the painted grey ware sites are mentioned in the Mahabharata, there is a view that painted grey ware culture represents the second wave of Aryan migration and were same as the Mahabharata people. Now let's come to the second phase, that is black and red ware associated with the Iron Age culture of India. Black and red ware has been found in many contexts, ranging from Harappan in Gujarat to Megalithic of South India, but in these sites, it was found in a characteristic context. Now let's see about the distribution. Black and red ware is distributed over eastern Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh with local and regional variations. It is important to note at this point that black and red ware with some variation from region to region has a wide distribution. It occurs from Rupar in the north to Adisnalur in the south and from Amma and Lakhabare in the west to Pandu Razar Divi in the east. Now let's come to the material culture, particularly ceramics. The characteristics of black and red ware are usually a wheel-thrown ware made of fine clay. It is well backed with a fine fabric and thill ones. It has a characteristic blackish core and a rim and a red exterior surface resulting from inverted firing, giving it the name black and red ware. The usual shapes represented are bowls and dishes. Now let's move to other point, that is other artifacts. Other artifacts are copper, beads and ring, comb fragment made of bone, stone chips, blades, waste flags and a course of quartz, agate and chalcedony, along with bits of semi-precious stones. Now let's come to the next point, chronology. Most scholars place this culture from 800 to 700 BC, but thermoluminescence dating of ceramics from Atranjikhera places this culture at about 1450 to 1200 BC. Dear students, today I am going to discuss on the topic Iron Age Culture of India Part 2. entitled Megalithic associated with the Iron Age of South India. Most information about Iron Age in South India comes from megalithic sepulchral burials, locally known as Pandukals. Megaliths in India were first discovered by Babington in 1823 from Bangala Mota Paramba in northern Kerala. In Indian, megalith generally belong to the Iron Age, even though it is an antecedent stage of pre-Iron Age. Megalithism is also found. Megalithic burials have been found in large number from different parts of South India. Survival of this tradition is found till date in pockets of central, southern and northern India. The term megalith derives from the Greek words megas meaning huge and lithos meaning stone. Earlier, this term was used to refer to only large stone monuments. However, nowadays in India, the term is applied to all burial and habitation sites yielding black and red ware pottery in southern India, irrespective of their association with megaliths in Iron Age or early historic context. Now come to the next point, distribution. According to U.S. Murthy, there are about 2,000 megalithic sites in South India alone. Most excavated sites are burial sites. Very few habitation sites have been excavated, within the exception of Makski, Takalghat, Khapa, Naikun and Payampally. Early Iron Age and early historic megalithic sites have been found from Vidarbha region of Maharashtra and also from various parts of southern India. Important sites are Takalghat, Khapa, Mahurzari and Naikun in Maharashtra, Brahmagiri, Chandravali and Jarigonhali in Karnataka, Nagarjunakonda in Andhra Pradesh, Adisnalur, Amarit Mangalam and Sanur in Tamil Nadu and Porkalam in Kerala. Megaliths have also been reported from Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar, Orissa and Northeast states, but they are more frequent in South India. Now come to the next point, nature. It may be pointed out that megaliths in India are not culturally or chronoculturally homogeneous. They vary in their form, nature and function. They are either mostly sepulchral or memorial in character. Most megalithic graves contain primary and secondary inhumations along with funerary offerings. Some urn burial sites without any large stone structures are also considered as megalithic sites based on the chronology and associated material culture. For instance, Adisnalur urn burial site. Now come to the next point, chronology. In India, megaliths and associated sites range in age from early Iron Age as they continue into the 4th century AD in the south. Yet, in archaeological literature, megaliths have become synonymous with Iron Age. Next point is the types of megaliths. Megaliths have been classified variously by different scholars, resulting in varied typological contexts. In 1949, B.D. Krishnaswamy proposed a first systematic classification, but Mortimer Wheeler classified it into 8 types. They are: number 1, dolomite schist; number 2, slab schist; number 3, shallow peat burials; number 4, deep peat burials; number 5, umbrella stones and headstones; number 6, hood stones; number 7, multiple hood stones; and number 8, menhirs. On the other hand, U.S. Murthy has classified them into two broad groups. Number 1, sepulchral, that is pit, chamber, lake and unlegged burials. And number 2, non-sepulchral, that is commemorative or memorial in nature. However, all classification schemes suffer from problems because of the complexity, diverse forms and distinctiveness of megalith in each region. Now let us discuss on the material culture of megalithic tradition. Funerary offerings also vary from region to region, comprising mainly of various types of iron implements, weapons and domestic objects in abundance, besides pottery, bronze vessel, gold ornaments and bits of semi-precious stones. Next come to pottery. Peninsular megaliths are associated with black and red ware, which has a medium to thick fabric, blackish grey core and glossy surface. In Vidarbha region, black and red ware is more micaceous and less glossy surface. However, it is different from black and red ware culture. The next point is on metallurgy. Iron objects are associated with most megalithic sites throughout Deccan. Among iron objects, war weapons predominate. They include flat iron, flame spade, hoe, pick, axe, sickle, billhooks, wedges, spears, knives, daggers, swords, arrowheads, spearheads, iron tridents, etc. The evidence of a furnace at Naikun with tuyeres and slag flowing out from hole helped in the reconstruction of the metal technology. The next point is on subsistence economy. Very few habitation sites have been excavated, making it difficult to understand the socio-economic life. Remains of sheep or goat and cattle, and also millets and pulses suggest an economy based on agriculture as well as animal breeding. The next point is on human skeleton. Human skeleton remains show great phenotypic variability, and Kennedy opines that it does not even show any sign of catastrophic and sudden population replacement or invasion of people in peninsular India during the Iron Age. The next point is settlement and landscape studies. Regarding the settlement pattern, Johansen suggested presence of socially distinct residential groupings as he found marked differences in elevation and separation of terrace spaces of residential places at Bukasagora, Ramapuram and Kadebakali. He also inferred occupational distinctions like those of iron or steel metallurgy, animal husbandry and mortuary preparations based on the features, distribution pattern, ceramics and other artifact attributes. Now let us discuss on its origin. Earlier, the megalithic monuments in India were explained through migration and diffusion from South Asia, Central Asia and beyond. Some scholars have even sought cultural affinities as far as Oman and Thailand. Some scholars have also shown that some of these megaliths were perhaps indigenous development from the local Neolithic, Chalcolithic burial customs of the Deccan. However, analysis of human skeleton remains suggests that they were not associated with a single cultural group. Now let me come to the concluding remark. Copper smelting with controlled fire led to the discovery of iron from chalcopyrite and iron-rich ores in India. Iron working tradition varied from region to region, but a very high quality iron objects were made. The emergence of iron has not been uniform in various regions of India, but recent studies suggest an earlier appearance which are contemporary with the earliest dates in other parts of the world. Even though some scholars suggest diffusion theory of the origin of iron working in India, other scholars have opined that iron arose independently in India in more than one center. Iron smelting technology marked the end of Stone Age. It played an important role in forest clearance, spread of agriculture, and effective colonization in the Ganga plains, which spurred the second urbanization in the Indian landmass. Iron technology appeared with painted grey ware in the upper Ganga plains, with black and red ware in the middle and lower Ganga plains, and with megalithic culture in the Vidarbha and peninsular India. Thank you all.